Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchy Steven. I am joined by all of these fine nerds today, which you can find links to them down in the description and into the awesome things that they do. With that, I'm just going to pass it right over to our illustrious GM, Steven Partridge, and we've only got one more session after tonight.
Yep. Hi, everybody. My name is Steven Partridge. Welcome to Nobody's Heroes, where the heroes are heroic, the villains are dastardly, and we love Sirenscape. You knew this was coming. So we like Sirenscape because it gives us sound effects and music and whatnot. It's great. I'm going to roll my little D5 here, and whoever it lands on is going to be who gives us their recap first and introduces themselves. Mootly. Okay.
We went to Ilang's hero's origin story and hung out in a creepy ass circus. And it was creepy. And I got stuck in a tube along with Nightlight.
That's right.
And then I got biggened and was no longer in the tube because the tube was shattered on the floor.
Separate tubes, not the same tube, though.
Yes.
Not the same tube. So my dear friend is still locked in a sea of emotionally tube. I will chuck it to said origin story lady, Robin.
Okay. I remember that there was a creepy giggler. Hey Ted, you want to take it from there?
Sure. So I'm playing Winda, aka Kiefer Greenleaf, wind-based, pot-based superhero. Last time we came out of the digital world to find ourselves, back at headquarters to find out that we kind of have to team up with some supervillains and what have you to try and end the threat of aliens to our world. And that is where all of the A-listers previously disappeared. They were recruited by these aliens to go off and destroy them, and apparently weren't successful. And now these aliens are on the way here. So we needed to try and find some kind of plan. If the people who are clearly better than us have not weren't successful, how are we ridiculous ones going to be able to do it? So I'll toss it to Nightlight.
Hey, I'm Nerder Doug. I'm playing Nightlight, aka Leo Lampley. And yes, we learned that this alien plague, basically called the Kavarans, I think is what they were called, are coming. And they not only have already, as far as we know, killed all the A-listers, but also all the or what we thought was all the villains as well, who had been recruited to fight them off. But now it's up to us to save the world. And we thought maybe we could get some plan together by visiting is that the creepy vampire clown's lair, where our stalwart civic servant Arnold got us to the place we needed to go using public transportation. And yes, Nightlight ended up captured in a what I wrote down as a vampire glass tube. But he is certain that his superheroic teammates will save him. And with that, I will pass it off to Nerdarchy Dave.
Hey, Nerdarchy Dave, and I am playing the superhero Blowhard. So, a couple things. One of which was Yin Yang, my faithful companion and housemate, was supersized by one of Hybrid's unhybrided people that can give off powers, but they're random. We don't know what they're going to do. And I thought the best use was to make a super kitty out of it. And also, I think, am I misremembering this? But did a bunch of hybrids people merge with those superheroes and they all died too? Or were they already dead?
No, they did that. They all
Yeah. So we have to figure out how to defeat the aliens, even though they got super oopered, and we cannot get super oopered because the super ooper people are dead. So that doesn't seem very promising, and also apparently wasn't a good plan. So we got that, and I think we're trying to find laughing gas because I think we suspect because canines have really good sense of smell. They're canine people, so maybe we've located their weakness.
I think it takes away powers too, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, because Lang got kicked out and Paul.
That's right. Yes. Now it's all
so I will say I am very much looking forward to the spin-off show called Carnivores, which is like an all animal spin-off from this B team from this team, which
And,
includes crocodiles, yin yang, probably a leg as a crossover character.
Smokewing,
Smoke Wing.
Predator.
Yeah. So when we left off, we were squaring off against, I believe, one of Magpie's siblings.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so
And-
much happened.
Mimi.
And Magpie also had one.
Is it suggestible that her name being Mimi means that it's me and me, as in there's two of me?
It is now.
You just doubled the villains we have to face.
Well, did you look in chat?
No, not
No.
yet.
Yeah. So
Yes, me and me.
yes.
Mm.
Puntastic.
Did Ted
sir,
go yet?
puntastic.
Yes.
Oh, you did
Yeah.
go. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
All right. So
All on you now.
We're gonna open up then. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Okay.
Speed check of.
Speed
I'm not
check.
gonna- I'm not gonna
of
spend the points.
8. So 8,
29.
24.
I got a 10, but I do have an inability, so that drops me down to a 6.
So let's see. That's a 17. So I beat a 5, and I believe I got some kind of training. I think I took training in initiative, bringing that 8 to a 7. That's 21. So I fail.
So
Okay.
you said difficulty 8 we're trying to hit.
Yes, you are trying to hit a difficulty 8.
All right, so I got exactly that.
Okay. So meets beats. Why did I almost type Rita?
You know, if you flip back and forth between the two windows of the images you sent us for Mimi, it looks like she's dancing.
Yes, I know.
Oh,
that.
there's 2. I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're slightly different.
Yep.
Now I have to check that in.
So you
Oh,
can
yeah.
spot the differences.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, that is just funny.
We got a gifizer.
Yep. So okay, what did Ilongot get? I can talk.
It was, I got a 10, but I have an inability in initiative. So
Okay.
that would actually bring me down to, if we dropped me down to the next one, that would be
Alright.
6.
Okay, and Nightlight
2.
2. Okay, Nightlight's going next.
Oh yeah.
And then did you say that? I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble with my headphones tonight. So Dave, did you say that Blowhard got it?
No, I brought it from an 8 to a 7, which means I needed a 21, and I still did
Okay.
only roll a 17. So
Okay, so Blowhard. So how we're gonna handle this then is we're gonna start with Magpie and then we're gonna shift. So it's gonna be Magpie and their stuff and then everybody else. So
good.
Magpie,
I thought
Right.
I was on the other side as well.
you are on the other side, but I'm gonna handle Magpie's first because it's like a separate scene right now.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yep. So, Magpie, you find yourself in this hallway lined with gas. There's this screen playing this old-timey projection, or rather, it's made to look like that with the flashing, sort of like those really old vintage cameras that had like the film reels and everything. But it's a projector, and you see this woman standing before you, who has these black strips of clothing that almost make it look like black and white stripes against her ghostly white skin. Her eyes glow with this vivid crimson, not unlike your own, and black lipstick, short hair, ready and vicious looking.
I'm having flashbacks to Bendy and the Ink Machine. All right, let's go. Didn't she have something in her hand?
She had one of the laughing gases
Cool. I'm gonna try to take that from her.
with a button on it.
Yeah.
You're gonna try to take it from her. Okay, go ahead and run up and try to do that. Your difficulty is 8.
Oh, Speed Racer.
She's
Okay.
8. She's level 8.
Okay. I would like to spend points.
Okay.
And I believe I can do 2.
2. Okay.
Okay, so I need an 18 or better.
Mm-hmm.
And I have power shifts, so that's not as hard for me.
Okay.
And okay, so I rolled a 14, and that's gonna be like plus 12, so I'm good.
Okay, yeah. So
I don't think
you
I even
run
needed
up
to spend
her,
points.
And you swipe that. So she has this button that's like a trigger, right?
Mhm.
But then she has the laughing gas in the other hand. So which were you swiping?
I'm taking the trigger.
Okay, you take the trigger, and she scarcely notices you do it, and then she kind of meets you and smirks. Okay.
Yeah, let's play. How do you feel about keep away?
So I need you to make a defense roll. This is an intellect defense roll.
Ooh.
Oh, I rolled an 18.
Is that what you needed?
I don't know. How can I tell you?
She's
Just give me a
difficulty 8.
She's difficulty 8.
She's level 8, so everything's difficulty 8.
Oh boy.
Okay, then no, I
Oh.
definitely didn't make it. I don't know why I even bothered rolling.
Major villain
Okay.
alert.
So as you take it and you hold it in your hands and you're like, yes, all of a sudden you feel everything tighten, like there's like a lasso or something that's around your upper body now, and it's just tightened, and you see she's miming holding on to a lasso that's pulling against you.
She's a mime. She's the worst.
And so she has you restrained at this point.
She's got the laughing gas in her other hand.
She does.
I pressed the button.
Oh, okay.
Press the button.
So that doesn't even take an action to do. So you press the button, and when you do,
Elevator
the
button.
entire hallway explodes with laughing gas.
Oh,
All
Sorry,
of it
guys.
in the area.
I never said I was responsible.
It
So
was
I
the
need you to
heroic
make
thing
a
to do, Magpie.
stamina defense check. The difficulty is 9.
Okay, does my mask give me an asset?
The mask does give you an asset.
Okay. I am really bad at math. I'm like getting out a calculator.
I think my villains, because the thing you're doing is technically stronger than she is, I think she fails.
Okay. Also, I'm definitely not going to pass this. It does not matter what I do. I cannot possibly pass this roll.
Okay, so you basically just leveled the playing field is what you've done. As all of a sudden, when this gas erupts, the gas is seeping through your mask, and you realize this gas is really fine. It's designed to go through masks and things like that. It's designed to be almost unstoppable. And she starts choking and immediately just slack, and you are not held at all anymore. And she starts choking. And so she can't even like quip at you or anything because she's just too busy choking right now. But you're choking too.
It's okay.
And you feel warm.
That's weird. I haven't felt
And-
warm in a very long time.
And you feel, you think at first you think you're having a heart attack, and then you realize no, that's just your heartbeat starting up.
Oh my god.
And your fangs have retracted.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Mm-hmm.
You're cured.
And
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Yeah, that would be a very strange sensation, I imagine.
now we shift, no pun intended, to everyone else.
Oh yeah, because Magpie's in a different area. than us.
Magpie's in a
Okay.
different area of the funhouse from the rest
Right,
of you.
right.
The rest of you find yourselves in this room surrounded by glass tubes around the outside. There's a big console in the middle. You see that there is this identical looking woman with some changes who has stepped out, and she said, I don't need to beat any of you with my powers. And she cracks her knuckles, and Winda, you can act before her. There is shattered glass on the floor as Ilang has just broken free. So Blowhard is in the doorway. You're here. Ilang is amongst the shattered glass, and Nightlight is trapped in one of these tubes right now.
I would like to use my blow power to push all the glass at her.
Oh, that's cool.
It's Winda first. So Winda, what are you doing? You're
He's
muted,
muted.
sir.
That was my plan, was to position myself and use my onslaught and slam the glass into her.
Okay.
I would do anything extra.
Okay. If you use your onslaught to get the glass whipped up in the air, everyone's going to have to save against that except Nightlight.
All right, well then I'll just blast her.
Okay.
Like, do it. Let's go.
All right, so is she an 8 as well?
She is also an 8. They are twins.
I wonder if they're like Zaymat and Tomek.
You know, if this was a bad male podcast, saying she's an 8 over and over again would mean something.
Oh no.
That's a natural 20.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm going to just give you this then as part of the scenario. She does have hidden from where she came out from. You see a small crate that's open and has more of that laughing gas in it.
But, like, does she have it on her, or is it just next to her?
It's just right next to her within reach at this moment.
So for the critical, can I knock her away from it?
You can absolutely do that.
So it's 7 damage, and she gets, whatever push.
7 damage.
That's
Holy
my
smokes.
normal.
Okay.
That's my normal damage.
Did
Yeah,
you
so-
add the crit thing?
No, because I'm.
Oh, you're doing the effect.
instead of the extra.
Sorry.
You still
Oh,
get some extra damage, right?
Oh,
No,
and
it's
she
either
doesn't
one
have
page
her
per effect
armor
or
right
everything.
now. Because her powers are off. Because you guys hit her with gas last time. So she doesn't have her armor either. So that's the full 7 damage. Okay. So you blast this explosion of smoke and wind at her, knocking her against this metal wall. It clangs, but when it clangs, she catches herself in this super flexible way. And it's her turn. She jumps off of the wall and turns into a like freeform full blast jump kick at you. So Winda, I need you to defend. Difficulty 8. Speed
all right.
check.
Speed? Okay.
Yep. Because she doesn't have her powers right now, she can't make you make intellect things.
Why doesn't she have her powers? I missed it.
Because Winda blew the laughing gas at her last time, and she still has 1 round of no powers.
Oh, okay. Very.
Buying themed dice sometimes really, works. That's a 19 on the die, so that hits.
Okay.
Hits a lot.
So
That
as
hits
she
bad.
jump kicks at you, she misses. And you nimbly just like float out of the way. And she kind of lands and pulls herself to a stop with her 2 fingers, almost like ninjutsu style. And then she looks up at you and smirks and she's like, okay, you're interesting. And Blowhard, you're up.
Can I position her between me and the 2 nightlight is in?
You absolutely can do that.
All right. Well, I'm going to do what I do, and I'm going to blow hard and try and
Okay.
slam her into that tube.
Okay.
So that's an 8, and I can bring it down to a 5. It's still going to be tricky. Well, that's not going to do it. That's a 6 on the die.
Ooh. Okay. So, you blow hard, and when you do, she literally flies into the air, and she catches herself on the corner between the wall and the ceiling. And once again, just catching herself almost like spider style. So she's like wildly flexible, and it doesn't really matter what angle you come at her from, she's going to be able to catch herself. So you've noticed that as a result of your attack. Ilang?
Alang looks at the lady. I can hit her, but she's hittable right now because she doesn't have armor.
Hit her.
So she looks at Nyla and goes, I'll be back. And then stares at the lady and is like,
Get him, Elaine.
you took away my powers. You made me small. I don't like you very much. And just like uses her flight to cross the distance and just hits her very, very hard.
Okay.
And so it's an 8.
Difficulty 8.
All right. So,
But it's a might check for you, isn't it?
yes, it is a might check. Huzzah.
Okay.
All right. So difficulty 8. And then my edge is 5. So that brings it down to 6.
Okay.
And then I will spend another 3 to bring it down to 5.
Okay.
And because I like causing myself trouble, that brings it to 5. So now I will auto hit using my risk ability. And she takes 12 damage as basically she's caught in that corner space. And Alang just goes, that was a mistake. It just is like,
Okay. So you smash and hit her. And when you do, she dodges out of the way, but you still kind of catch her a little bit and spin her. And once again, she catches herself when she lands on the floor. So it's frustrating, but she's like really good at catching herself. She's almost like a rag doll when you throw her.
Mhm.
And
I will give my XP points to Ted
okay.
for your future pain that you're going to cause me.
And Leo, Nightlight, you are trapped in this pod at the moment. What do you do?
Am I like neutralized, like within the, like?
Not yet.
Okay. And just a couple, just quick questions because I might have forgot. So we're in a room. There's like a supply of that gas. And she
In the room.
do we have any awareness that she knows we're there for that?
No, you don't know if she knows that.
Okay, I'm gonna bust out my major illusion power, which is my most powerful thing.
Okay.
I can create a complex scene of images within immediate range that fits in 100-foot cube. So I'm imagining the room is, no problem there. The images can move, but they can't leave the area defined by the cube. They can include sound and smell, and it lasts for 10 minutes. So what I want to do is make an illusion that looks like I just disappear. Or no, it looks like I just like walk right through the glass of the tube, move across the room, and pick up the crate of laughing gas, like, amidst this battle, and just try to get out. So like the actual illusion is masking where the crate actually is, so it looks like I just walked out of the thing, went over to it, and got it.
Okay.
But like, so that she sees me. So my idea is just like maybe she'll be like, "Oh, he's getting the stuff."
Does only she see this?
No, I think everybody does. And it lasts for 10 minutes and changes as I direct.
Okay, so the rest of you watch as Nightlight apparently uses this new power as he just and walks through, jumping out and going over to the crate.
And I guess it includes sound, so I'll just I'll just have him say like, I'll get the gas, like that's what we came for. Let's get out of here, like loudly so that she hears it.
Okay. So you say that, everyone hears that, and it's the end of the round?
Yeah.
In a distant place, Magpie has just pushed the button. And while it had an effect where they were, the entire room where the rest of you are begins to light up, and then these blue lights shift to red. These ribbon-like straps bust out of all of the tubes and act like they're grabbing onto something that would be in there, which means Nightlight, in your case, you are now restrained.
Okay.
As these straps just wrap all over your body. They wrap over your face too. You're functionally mummified.
Okay.
up to like your eyes, and all of a sudden this gas starts pouring into the tubes.
All right.
It is red. It is red gas.
Oh
Red
no.
gas. I don't know
But
what red gas is.
His mom is going to kill us.
The rest of you would notice that the gas seems to be mostly contained, except for the one that Ilang broke out of, which is now pouring red gas into the room. And on top of that, the rest of you will be able to notice that the tube that Nightlight is in, even though he isn't in there, there is a shape that is very much like him in there that has been mummified by these like ribbon-like straps.
Is there any like damage or thing, or are they just restraining me? I just don't know.
They are restraining you right now and just holding you in there.
Well, we also know Nightlight creates illusions, so.
Yep, that's true. So, Magpie, we shift back to you. The room is filled with this gas, and you start hearing Mimi cackling. And I need you to make a stamina check as well.
Okay. 11.
11.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you hit this 11, right? And it doesn't work. And you start feeling yourself reflexively begin laughing. And at first it's just a chuckle, and it's almost like when you cough and you can't help it. And it keeps coming.
Steven, I get this even better than what you're describing, because I'm one of those people that gets stuck laughing to the point that it's painful.
Yeah, and it hurts in your chest, and you start feeling your heart begins, because your heart is going right now. It starts having interrupted beats, and you fall to your knees as you have an irregular heartbeat, and you begin laughing uncontrollably while rolling on the ground, along with Mimi. And
I'm not even used to having a heartbeat at all, so this is quite the experience.
the rest of you, it is so loud and visceral. The rest of you hear this laughing coming from somewhere else. And neither of these laughs you recognize, because I don't think Magpie's ever laughed in front of you.
Well, okay, actually, Winda definitely for sure has heard it before, because when you're stoned, sometimes you just can't help it.
That's fair. So
That's funny
Winda,
shit.
you would recognize it. And both of the laughs start warping from this almost like creepy cackle. They start rasping with the laugh to the point they sound like they're causing pain. And they get like interrupted after a short while, almost like something is wrong with them.
There is something wrong, Steven. There is something wrong.
Yeah, you don't know that though. And
Well, you do, just not what's actually wrong.
Nightlight,
Yeah.
I need you to also make a stamina check.
Okay. What is
Stamina check.
The difficulty is going to be 9 for this.
There's no way.
All right, so you start laughing as well.
Okay.
This is a stamina check.
For
I
a stamina
imagine like a
check.
might.
For or might, yeah, might.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep
Yeah,
confusing.
That's just I
Might check.
figured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's no way.
so you start getting this urge. It's almost like a cough too, to begin
Okay.
laughing, and your powers shut off, and your illusion just poof, and all of a sudden you guys see Nightlight is actually wrapped up in this tube as the gas completely envelops the tube. So you just see this swirling, like glittery, murky red in the tube, in all of the tubes. And you hear
turning into a vampire.
cackle,
I'm so sorry.
like a very muffled cackle coming from within the tube. And Nightlight, you also start feeling your heart begins beating irregularly, and
All
it
right.
feels really painful. Like if you could, you would fall from this.
Gotcha.
And the
Terrifying.
smog begins pouring into the room as well. So next round, the rest of you are going to have to make this same stamina check. And Winda, we're at you.
Do I go before the smoke is getting in the area?
Yes.
Like hearing Magpie, in discomfort, and seeing Erlang basically just womp ass on this person. I figured I'd best go help my ally who's alone.
Okay.
So I was going to head in that direction.
Okay, you can absolutely do that. And because you're so fast, I'm going to let you get there next round. So that basically when Magpie starts, they'll go, then Mimi, and then you'll be there. So, Winda, whoosh, off towards somewhere else. The rest of you can't really see. Mimi's turn. Mimi's powers are back on.
Oh no.
Mimi looks at the gas, looks at all of you, and she smiles and she's like, oh, you messed up. And she puts her arms forward, and just very briefly, you see almost like the air ripples and distorts. And when she does, you start seeing now the gas that just begins to reach her starts like curling around her in a cube, so that it's almost like there is an invisible box that she's inside right now. And that's going to be her round, actually. She's not even going to mess with you guys because as far as she's concerned, she thinks you guys are in enough trouble. And Blowhard, it's your turn.
Is there like ventilation shafts or ductwork or anything like that?
There is ductwork overhead, but it's currently all closed.
Suck it up.
Well, there's only 2 of us over here. You know what? I will suck it all in.
Okay.
That's super heroic, man.
So, I need you to make a stamina defense roll versus a 9.
Okay.
Got it.
Well,
Or not stamina. I keep saying stamina. It's might. I keep
Yeah,
thinking
I know what you
about,
mean,
like,
though.
Stamina. Might defense. That one. Yes.
All right. So I give. I'm trained in might, so I can bring it down to a 5. This is still going to be hard.
You got it, man.
That would be. How do you feel about a GM intrusion?
Oh!
You suck it all up,
Uh-huh.
and when you suck up the gas, you start coughing and laughing at the same time. So much so your powers activate just briefly enough to cover the entire room in it. So everybody needs to make this stamina check now. And
I'm safe in the
Elam,
tube.
just because you gave me that free little intrusion,
Awesome idea.
my
though.
free intrusion is because you've already been susceptible to this once. You have a difficulty, so you have to beat a 10.
Ooh.
Okay,
But it's a stamina defense.
It's possible. It's possible.
It
You got
is.
this. You got it.
It is possible.
So
for
you
me.
have to beat the most difficult check in the entire game. This is the first time this
Okay.
game we've had a difficulty 10 anything.
And our lives depend on it, but no pressure.
So you said everyone in the room. Does that count Mimi?
Mimi is in a box right now and is safe.
Okay, so my edge brings
She's not
it down to
antagonizing.
8.
At least not physically.
I can bring it down to a 5, but I've already used my auto succeed, but I still have to spend. This is hard. That comes to 7. Alright.
What'd you get?
You
I
get a
brought it
1
all
off.
the way down to a 15 and I rolled a 9.
Ah.
Oh.
So from a
Elan,
30 to
you-
a 15 and I rolled a 9.
You
And that's
really-
awesome, though, that you're able to do.
You hear Blowhard begin sucking it up, and just reflexively you turn, and then he sputters, and when he and this cloud erupts into the room, you happen to be looking exactly in his direction, and it catches you in the face as you inhale it, and you get it directly, and it causes real
That's how
world
I'm
damage.
happy.
It's that cosmic level of danger.
Real life effect.
And you begin coughing and sputtering as well, and laughing and cackling as the book plummets out of you once again. And as Katie, you're cackling, and you feel your heart starts beating irregularly as you drop. And Nightlight.
Okay, what does restrained mean exactly? I can't move. Can I do anything?
You can try to escape with a difficulty 9 because the creature made it, but it's a 9 as a might check.
Could I wriggle enough to get that acid pistol that I have out and try to like melt the tubes holding me? Or do something with that?
I like
it. It's up to you.
I like it. So
okay.
It's going to be hard. I'm going to say that's a difficulty 5.
Okay.
For speed.
Speed? Okay.
Or might, your choice.
Speed. Okay, so I'll spend some points. So I haven't. I'll bring it down 2 levels. I'll spend the points for that. So it's a 3. So I got to roll 9 or higher. Natural 20.
Okay. So I'm going to let you, as you're pulling it out, even fire it off.
Okay.
So
yeah, he just sort of like had it in his little belt pouch. Just is like, I'm skinny enough that I can like.
Actually, no, I'm going to do this for you because you succeed at this and you got a natural 20. You not only get enough of your restraints free that you now have an arm free.
Okay.
You also get a hole in the tube. So that while your gas is pouring out there into everything and it's all just mingling, you do technically have a way out now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm totally happy with that.
So next round, he will be able to try to attempt to escape.
Gotcha.
Like all the way. And we're back up to Magpie. So Magpie, you are choking and sputtering and cackling and it hurts. And your chest feels like it's burning, but at the same time, you feel like you're getting chills. And you feel like you're sick to your stomach. It's terrible. And you're not sure. It almost feels like you're going to like cough out your stomach with this laughing.
Yeah.
So might defense roll of 9.
Steven, I am not going to be able to make this.
Okay.
I rolled an 18.
All right, because your speed is so ridiculous, I will still allow you to move a short distance.
Is my speed ridiculous right now, though? I'm not a vampire anymore.
Your speed is hindered, but you have enough muscle memory to know how to use your body efficiently because I imagine that's a lot of your manifestation, not just because it's not just power shifts, right? Like you already are naturally speedy.
Okay.
So you can still kind of like crawl desperately if you want to.
Yeah, just down the hallway toward friends.
Okay, you can creep just out of the hallway, which you see the hallway's now starting to fill with the gas too. And Mimi is just debilitated. You hear this laughing, this cackling, and then it suddenly like cuts off, like really abruptly. It's like this.
Oh, that's ominous.
Mm-hmm.
Mimi's passed out.
And Winda, you're here. And you see the hallway starts to fill with gas. You see Magpie literally crawling on the floor just out of this hallway.
So there's gas behind me and gas in front of me?
Yes.
So my one power is warding. Basically, I'm protected by winds.
Okay.
It's meant to like deflect attacks, but can I like pull Magpie in and just try to like keep the gas out?
You guys can pass the gas together. Gotta get those fun points.
You are so speedy. I'm going to say yes. You have to make a difficulty 5 speed check. However, if you can succeed up to difficulty 6, or basically 1 stage more, then you can also say that you blow enough of the gas away that you actually clear out some of Magpie's lungs and give Magpie the opportunity to be all right.
I already have four levels, so I will spend effort.
Okay.
So I basically need a 3.
Okay. So roll a 3 or better.
And geez, my die is on fire. I've rolled a 20, a 19, and a 19.
Okay. Okay. So you rush over and immediately just and all of this wind just whips all around you like Avatar style in this bubble. And Magpie, your mask is blown away as your lungs fill with this fresh air. It smells super fresh. And instead of this burning, bleachy sort of smell,
clean.
you actually choke out red vapors that are just consumed with this green, smoky wind. This skunky, sweet smell sort of like envelops your lungs briefly, and you feel more invigorated. And you don't have access to your powers. You still have a heartbeat. And you see Magpie's face is like really like full of color, which is unusual. But
19. Can I just catch the mask?
yes, absolutely.
I'll just hand it, hand it out to you, or hand it, hold it out to you. That's what I'm doing. Can't talk to me.
Huh.
She'll take it in somewhat shaky hands. Thank you.
So what's going on? What caused this burst out here? We've got more of this dangerous smoke down below.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said like what happened out here, like because there's that dangerous gas down below.
Yeah, she had a plunger, and I took the plunger, and I thought that the only gas that she had was in her hand, so I pressed it.
Well, we got to do something here. Are they down?
Are they down? What do you mean?
The mime, the Mimi.
You don't know.
I was asking Magpie.
Yeah, I think so. She sure got quiet if she's not.
I don't know whether we should like try to head down and help them, or go check on your villain.
Let's go. I'll check her and I'll be right behind you.
Okay. Who's next?
Okay. So, Winda, you blow in there. It's easy to do. In fact, you rolled so well. Most of the gas is clear from here too. And you see this woman that looks identical to the one that you just saw in the other room. And she has this blood trickling from her nose and her mouth and her eyes. And she's just utterly still. You can't tell if she's dead.
Oh.
Magpie said that they were going to check, so I'll head back towards my allies now that Magpie's safe.
Okay. All right. So you're heading back to your allies. It is Mimi's turn, and she is going to use her power to walk calmly through everything. You guys see this gas is wisping in a cube-like shape around her, and she just walks out of the room, and she smirks at all of you and says, "Good luck." And Winda, in fact, you ram into this invisible wall as you come to the doorway, and you are looking face to face with Mimi. But this gas is kind of curled around the box, and she's just on the precipice of the cloud now, so she's not directly in it.
Okay.
And she looks at you, meets your eyes, and she's waiting on you to make a move. So what do you do?
What's your game here? What are you looking to? What are you looking to have happen?
My quarrel was never with you. Mimi wanted to play with the little birdie.
Are you Mimi, or is the one over there bleeding to death Mimi?
You saw Mimi too?
I point behind me without.
Hey, me too.
And then she, like, kind of, you see this
Maybe
almost
catch.
like wash of, like, the facade is dropped for a moment, and then she pulls it back on, and she's like, We'll meet another time. Mimi's bored today. And we'll just walk past if you let her.
I do, and I'll just try to keep
All right, she walks back from the direction you came from.
keep the winds going so that the smoke does not get to me, if at all possible.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, all of you notice that the winds, the smoke is now whirling and it's whipping up in here, almost like a cyclone. The vents are not letting the smoke out yet because you haven't opened them. But you see that wind has returned. And now we are at Blowhard. So stamina defense, or might defense. I'm bad at this today. I swear. I know things. I just don't act like it.
We know what you mean.
And are we at a 9, an 8?
It is a 9 still.
All right.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to give you an asset because Winda has it whipping around. So in theory, actually, Winda, you can catch one person in your cloud to give them, to dramatically reduce their difficulty. Who do you choose?
It's going to be Nightlight.
Okay.
Oh, gee, thanks.
So he's rushing over to the 2 right now.
Okay.
It seems a little hard. But you still have an asset.
So I rolled a 17, and I was able to reduce it by 4 anyway, and I could reduce it by 5. So I only needed a 12.
Okay. So Blowhard, you're up.
Is
You
the
have no
biggest
power.
thing in here Elang?
Not anymore. I'm not big anymore. I got
Oh.
down.
You see Katie writhing and cackling on the ground with a book right beside her.
Oh no. Where are the vents? How high up are they?
They're pretty high up. Make an intellect check with a difficulty of 3 to notice or perceive or otherwise investigate.
I'm not even gonna bother doing that. I'm going to
Okay.
I'm whatever vent. I'm just looking for something to kind of parkour off of to try and jump up at it, and I want to try and punch it open.
Break it.
Each
You
of
did it
these
breaking
vents
stuff.
is above these tubes. So you could climb a tube pretty easily.
Yeah, so I want to just like parkour between them, kind of like trying to run up, bouncing back and
Okay.
forth.
So using that ninja martial arts, or you
Iron
just like
Wolverine.
jump back and forth,
Yeah.
and then you finally get on top of one of these tubes pretty safely. Make a difficulty 3 might check to break it.
Now,
All
I've
right.
heard that you can reduce the difficulty if you actually say parkour while you're
I
parkouring.
can't actually. If I'm only rolling a
parkour.
3 to break it, I can't actually fail that.
Okay, so you just immediately punch, and this is a martial arts thing for you. It's not even a power shift thing. You just, which is great because right now you don't have your superpowers,
So,
but you punch open this vent, and the smoke, because it's already whipped up, starts pouring this way, which unfortunately does mean that you're going to be right in it next
Nice.
round.
Parkour backflip.
So, Katie, you have 2 assets for your might defense roll of 9. So that brings down to a 7. As this vent is opened up and Winda already has the wind whipping around to try to kick it all up everywhere.
So as Katie, she only has an edge of 3. So what was it brought down to?
A 7.
A 7, so that brings it down to a 6.
So that is doable.
I'll just spend 1 more because I really don't want to die. So I need to roll a 15 or above.
Got this.
How do you feel about a 4?
4. So
It's
Katie
taking all my luck.
So Katie's laugh begins becoming raspy and intermittent as she's gasping, and Blowhard, you can see that blood starts trickling from her mouth and her nose and even the very edges of her eyes. And Nightlight, Winda is coming your way, and because the wind is blowing everywhere, you can have an asset. Oh, and the vent is open, so that's 2 assets.
Okay.
On your difficulty, 9 brings it down to a 7.
Okay.
For
And
might.
this was the might. Well, I might as well. I'll spend the might.
Actually, I'm going to give you an extra asset because you're in a tube now. So you have a smaller hole where the gas can come in from, and it's already pouring out to equalize. So it's actually leaving your area right now.
All right, so it goes down to a 6, and then I'll spend the might to bring it down to a 5.
Okay.
15.
15. So it went from a 6 to a 5. You said.
Yeah.
And you got a 15. All right. So you are no longer coughing and choking and cackling, but you are still mostly restrained. So you can now try to make a might check with a difficulty of still 9 in this case to try to free yourself. Actually,
Remember
we'll
at the
take it down
start
to
of the
8
game?
because you have the acid that is eaten away at part of it, and you have an arm free. So that's
Remember at the start of the game where we used to like just beat up the bad guys really
Yeah, this
easily?
is-
And we're all like, that's
Uh-huh.
really.
This is like issue 11 of a 12-issue limited series, man. What? I'm so sorry, I missed it. What is the difficulty now?
So we'll put it down to a 7 for
It was-
might.
It was
So
might.
that's before you spend anything or have any power shifts.
Okay, I have neither of those things. Yeah, I can't. I just can't. I'm just struggling.
Okay, and you really struggle to try to catch that mental
But I'm not
link
dying,
you have with
so
your
that's good.
tech.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, because your powers are nullified, you're just your
Sure.
brain is foggy and you're just kind of sitting there struggling.
I'm not under threat of immediate death, though, so that's good.
Nope, you are not under threat of immediate death, which is great.
It was a good turn.
So Magpie, we're back up to you. What are you doing? You're muted. You're muted, sir.
Sorry. It looks like all of my friends are in grave peril from the vampire juice, and it is like undeniably my fault that this happened. I'm just looking around to see if there's like anything that I can do. Like, is it coming from anywhere, or is it just in the room?
All of the gas exploded where you were, because it was within the proximity of the detonator, and you also would know that because you hear the whirring and the machine thrumming and everything, that true vampire creator has kicked up.
Okay, we need to get out.
Can you turn it off?
Ted, you are so quiet. I can't hear anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you just turn it off? Like, does the switch you have, does it have an off button?
I don't know. I'm just gonna pick up Katie and leave.
You're not with them right now. You're still at the hallway. Are you trying to follow Winda?
Well, then yes. I mean,
Okay.
if I'm
I
not
will
in the
say
room, then I
just-
don't know that everybody's dying. So
I
Yeah.
will say just to add you know, like extra like angst for your character, Katie the nerdlet is currently bleeding out on the floor,
yeah,
gasping /
I know.
crying,
I'm
maybe.
aware. I see
Just-
this.
In fact,
What's that,
Magpie,
Mike?
weirdly, because you are one of that's children. So, you, as you're going, your fangs pop back all of a sudden, and you feel your heartbeat constrict, and it hurts for a minute, and it stopped. Your color has washed away, and you feel back, but you feel better than ever.
All right.
Because this gas was made by your sire. And it was
Yep.
made specifically to empower them after a fashion. And so now at this point, you have an asset to anything you do.
Cool. That thing is going to be getting into the next room and getting my friend out.
Okay. So you can get to that room. You can see everything with this supersonic speed you've got. You can get right to Katie. And as you guys watch Magpie moving, it's almost like when you see those effects of like they're triplicating as they move. But when they move, it's not even like they're moving like running super fast. It just looks like they're moving really slowly, but in triplicate. In this horror style. And
Magpie for Morbius.
yeah, you
like,
are right.
like a
here.
strobe light.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And yeah, so you are at Katie at this point. And Winda, what are you doing now?
So it looks like the gas is now venting, right?
Uh-huh.
If there's anything I can do to like hasten that, or just try to get it out of anyone that's out of anyone's way that's still being bothered by it, that's what I would look to do.
Difficulty 5 intellect roll.
Intellect. I doubt my specialization in weather is going to help me here, right?
In fact, it would. Because it pertains to clearing fog and clouds.
All right, well.
All I need to do is make a updraft of hot air under here.
Exactly. You know how updrafts work and all that, so I'm going to say yes.
Look at that, your meteorology skills are saving the day.
Ted creates a low pressure system that's going to walk through the room like.
That'll bring it from a 5 to a 2.
Okay.
And that's a 12 on the die.
Woo!
All right.
That's
so
why he kept his job.
Winda expands this wind, and you see that the wind bubble expands. It begins to shape into a cyclone beneath and just spirals into the vent and guides it all the way out. So the gas is now cleared. Of note, Magpie, as you were shifting and just hurrying as quick as you could to your companions, I'm not going to call them friends quite yet because you only referred to one of them as a friend.
That's
you did
gross.
see Mimi hustling in a protected sort of field, going toward where you came from.
Okay.
Catching your gaze briefly, a second one, in fact, from the one you just faced.
So. Oh yeah, because this is the first time that I'm realizing there's 2 of them.
Uh-huh. Yep. Right now, only Winda and you know there's 2 of them now.
Yeah, I don't have time to deal with this right now. I will think about that later. I will overanalyze that later.
Okay.
Nemesis.
And so Winda has guided everything out. Mimi's not going, so Blowhard, you're up. You have to make a might defense roll because you are right in the cyclone's path of the gas.
Roll for parkour back.
You do have those 2 assets still, though.
All right, so that brings it down to a 6.
Uh-huh. Before any power shifts or anything like that.
Well, it's starting at a 9, right?
It started at a 9.
All right, so that's a 6. All right, I will drop it down as far as I can. I'll drop it down to a 3. Oh, that's a 19
You
on
roll
the die.
another one. Oh, okay.
Okay. So, Blowhard, you just know to hold your breath. You use your special breathing techniques for martial arts to center yourself, breathe evenly, and you are good.
All right.
Do you want to do a thing?
Yeah, I want to do a thing. I'm going to use an action to recover some points.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely do that.
Forgot we could do that.
So, Katie, I need you to make another might defense roll. This one counts.
Do I still have those assets?
You do still have the assets.
So it's a 9 brought down to a 7, or is it a 10 brought down to an 8?
It is a 9, brought down to a 7.
You know, sometimes I just use that auto succeed way too early in the show and really regret it. So I need to roll a 15 or higher. 19. Yay!
Okay, so you in fact, the fresh air invigorates your lungs once again. This skunky sweet just kind of wafting and filling your nostrils briefly. And you do gasp, and you feel like there is blood on your face, but you are alive as you gasp and sit up. Your book is about 5 feet away from you. And Magpie, you see this. And Magpie, I'm going to impose an intrusion on you.
For sure.
So you have a flashback to this chamber when you enter, and you see Katie awaken in this way because it's very reminiscent of how you awoke.
Okay.
I need you to make an intellect defense roll. Your difficulty is going to be a 7 as a base.
Oh, Steven, I rolled a 2.
Okay, so Magpie, despite your super poweredness and the extra asset and everything, you just crumple in the face of this trauma response. And I don't know, you can describe how that looks to you.
Like, honestly, probably just like falling to the floor in this room, which is familiar and probably not helping at all. Like, just more of a lockup than a meltdown, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I want Vampire Katie.
And like the
Or Vampire
sclera
Lightning.
has gone completely red.
No, Vampire Katie.
Okay.
It'll be like Lost Boys.
So, in fact, Katie wouldn't have turned into a vampire. The only one who had a chance of turning into a vampire was Nightlight.
Oh,
Because he
Alang
was
would
in the
get it.
chamber.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
So, at this point, Nightlight, it is you.
Okay.
You are currently still half mummified. You have an arm free, and there is a hole in the glass.
But there's no gas, so I don't have to make that might check.
So you don't have to make the might check to avoid the gas. You just have to make the might check difficulty of 7 total to break free.
So are we out of initiative, out of threat that we could kind of like combine together and just help him out?
In fact, you are.
Oh. I knew you guys would save me.
Also, the idea of a disco vampire kind of appeals to me as well.
A disco vampire clown, no less.
Alang like scrabbles for the book. Katie scrambles for the book and is like goes to help with
Okay.
Nightlight, but then like sees like Katie like and just like plops herself down next to Katie and is just like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You're okay. I'm okay. We are okay.
Yeah.
Is everybody okay?
Oh,
You're
my
still in
lungs.
it. She's just like sitting with Katie, just being like, we're okay.
Well, I have to say, folks, that is what we call a gas.
We barely
Okay,
passed
take your
the gas slide.
experience.
Good, Dave, you can have that one.
Did we get what we came for? Like, I don't think we did.
There is still one crate that is untouched of this laughing gas.
So did everything that was like, there was like 2 rooms upstairs that were like full of them. Did all of that?
All of that exploded because it was within the radius when the button was pushed.
Well, we still got a week. We can maybe we can reverse engineer this and maybe make some more. Over
Katie-
6 days.
Katie just looks at Magpie and looks at the guys and is like, can you guys grab that and like start taking her out?
Magpie, you all right?
Oh, Magpie is not like home enough to speak right now.
Yeah, you don't look so good, kid. You should probably go get some fresh air.
So we gotta. How's everybody doing? Everybody seems pretty well affected by that noxious stuff.
It was a bit rough. I'm slowly but surely feeling better as I spend another recovery.
I'll take a moment to do one of those.
And I'll go to the crate and start kind of like, I don't know, what size is it? Like, how big is it?
It is like a normal standard shipping crate. So it's like a big box. It would take 2 people to lift it up.
All right, I will go over and start kind of like sliding it across the floor.
Okay.
Or actually, if my powers are back, I'll just keep kind of like sliding it by blowing. Just keep moving it, with me as I go.
Eventually your powers do come back. Katie's take longer than everybody else's to come back this time because you've been exposed twice now.
How long does it take for Magpie to regain their senses?
It'll be easier once I'm out of the room.
So I don't know.
And Katie's not even going to try because she can't actually bring back Elang right now, even with her powers. She's exhausted. So she's just taking Katie and getting out of there.
Yeah. Once she does, the very first thing out of her mouth is going to be an apology. Like, probably a very tearful apology that if I had better acting skills would absolutely choke you up, but you're just going to have to imagine it because I don't have better acting.
I
Just
can feel it
imagine
right here.
being choked up.
Dude, we're all emotionally affected because she called Katie like a friend. We were just all like, oh, wow.
Well, I don't believe you were looking to cause any kind of harm. It was just a matter of there was a threat and you were alone. I thought, based on how you described it, you thought the canister she was holding was gonna erupt in her face. It sounded like a perfect plan to me.
I thought it was the only one. I mean, at least that it was hooked up to.
So we got some of what we came for. I was kind of hoping that we might get more, but we all made it through.
It was a good gamble. It just didn't pay off this time. But we lived, so we get.
Real quick, are we still kind of like in the room with the tubes and all that?
No, we went outside.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah, you guys do have the box and the detonator. So you got both of them.
So the funhouse, is it kind of like a carnival funhouse where they're made to be set up and taken down and set up again?
So the top of it is, but this funhouse in particular, it has like a whole lower area that's below it.
Awesome supervillain layer.
Yeah, and
Abandoned
Magpie would
portion.
know. Magpie would know that's how the Carnival of Horrors works. The real Carnival of Horrors is underneath in these mad scientist type labs that exist under every big top, under every event. And it's themed with those different aspects. In fact, that if you were to try to venture here, you could try to loot the place. You might be able to find more of the gas, but you would face a lot more dangers. And who knows what else is down here.
I explained that. And I realize that it was my fault that turned into a disaster, but I am not entirely sure that we are up to plundering this place. I am definitely sure that I am not up to plundering this place. The top level was enough.
It's not really why we came here anyway. And with that, the top level, I'm just going to blow it over, like a house of cards. I just want to wreak carnage and destruction upon it.
Okay, Mr. Big Bad Wolf. So yeah, you can do that easily enough. The thing collapses, and you do see there's multiple entry points underneath that are just stairs that lead into these different sections.
There's
a
no
couple
way they have
places where
proper
the stuff
permits
doesn't
for
blow
this.
away. There's a couple places where the stuff doesn't blow away because it's housing other entrances and whatnot, but for the most part, it's blown over.
Good enough.
And Magpie, you get a text, and among all of the typos and whatnot, you can make out that Crocodiles has messaged you with
What's he
those
saying?
stubby little claws. And it says, "Get over to Bev's."
Okay, we are being summoned.
Bevs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long does it take to get to Bev's?
Depends. Do you use your favorite method of travel?
Yeah, let's summon Arnold. See if
I
we
have
can-
to until I get a sidecar for Yin Yang.
Oh, I totally forgot. Was Yin with us the whole time?
Yeah.
He was outside waiting.
No, no, came in.
He came in. He was-
Yin Yang was turned into a regular cat when the gas went
Oh
out.
yeah.
So Yin Yang is only just now like maybe double the size of the normal cat and is like steadily growing and turning colors. So it's taking Yin Yang longer to recover, actually.
Bus driver finds it really weird when a small girl gets on the bus and not a giant bird.
In fact, he's kind of he looks at all of you because he did wait around. It's
Oh.
almost like he had a heart and came back and wanted to wait for you.
Arnold.
And
He loves
he
us.
looks very annoyed at all of you. Where's the big bird lady?
He flew on home. We rescued this here girl.
Help. I am but a maiden in distress.
I also
Yeah.
wanted on the record that the whole bus ride home, Magpie's gonna be sitting like just in sight range of Nerdlet over here. Like bad things might still happen.
He looks at Katie and actually offers her a tissue. Hey, are you all right? Like, you look rough, kid.
Don't like clowns anymore. They said go to the circus. It would be fun, they said. They lied. It was not fun. Don't ever go
That's
to the
dead,
circus.
isn't it? Is that back?
I don't think so. It was some other weird lady. But these guys took care of it.
Was it them? Maybe.
All right. Well, where are you going? My shifts. I still got 6 hours.
We
Right
need
over
cheeseburgers
Bev's.
and soda stat.
Okay.
Would you like something for, waiting around? I'm sure you missed your lunch break waiting for these guys.
No, the bus it grinded to a halt because it wouldn't go. The wheels messed up, and I just fixed it. So I was stuck.
Arnold, we could kind of use like a driver. Would you ever thought about working in the private sector?
And he just like pauses. I don't know.
We could probably
mean-
get you better benefits. I don't know, city job. Is this a city job? It's probably pretty good,
the
right?
city job.
Well, I'll tell you what. You coming down to the A-listers tower on your next day off? We'll talk. Because
I don't know.
we're around the city quite a bit, as you've seen.
Make an
And you're the best
intellectual
driver that I've ever come across. I mean, this
difficulty
bus is
4
fantastic.
to persuade or have
Oh.
positive communication with.
Okay. I'm gonna spend from my pools because I want to bring it home.
'Cause we like Arnold.
12, so I made it.
Okay. He looks at you. He kind of like acts like he's chewing on something for a minute. We'll see.
Fair enough.
My headcanon, Arnold was a hero back in the day and is retired to try and live a
Oh
life.
yeah. Or that is like he's still a superhero and that's his secret identity. He's a bus driver. Maybe.
Because bus drivers have their finger on the pulse. of
Mhm.
justice.
They know how to get around everywhere, the best routes.
His superhero identity was the bus driver, and now he's cleverly hiding in plain sight.
Like like it has like little panels that's like flip around in the bus, and like computer banks and stuff. Like Spider-Man is amazing.
So we go to Bev's.
All right, so
Yeah.
you go to Bev's. You go to Bev's Diner, and when you walk through the door, you see Beverly there, and she's already cleared the place out. She's leaning against the counter, and she's like, "You don't want me. I'm not Bev. I'm Beverly. You got to go around back."
I take a
you.
quick glance at the menu board to see if there's a nightlight heart healthy platter yet.
You know what? I'm gonna make a happenstance roll for that. That is a mechanic I
Really?
stole from Robin forever ago.
They're like, we don't know how to make heart healthy platters.
I got a
Some
natural
heroes got to
20,
watch their.
so
I have a history of.
Did you get a natural 20?
I got a natural 20. So in fact, there is Nightlight's heart healthy, or it's heart glow platter.
Oh,
There's also
awesome.
the heart shine platter, which is like even healthier.
I literally put that as my number one goal in session 1. So, yeah.
Aw.
Campaign was a
They're,
huge success.
they're the healthiest items on the menu, but that by no means makes them healthy.
Yes.
The salad still has butter in it. Somehow.
Yes.
That's all right.
The
It's a
dressing is
start.
made of butter.
It's a
We're
start.
making changes.
Butter and
Making
Worcestershire
changes.
sauce.
Literally in
Famous.
hearts and minds.
You're famous, Nightlight. Look, you made it on
Oh,
Bev's
right.
board.
In fact, because I got a natural 20, Nightlight, you convinced them to name what everybody got in the very first time here after each person.
All right.
So there's an actual dead raccoon carcass burger on the board.
There's
that's
a
so good.
mystery meat burger.
Actually kind of terrifying.
Never ruin crime on an empty stomach. That's my motto.
Oh, jeez.
We go around to see Bev.
All right, you go around back and you see there's those like double basement doors that lift up, and that's really all that's back here in this alleyway outside of the dumpsters and whatnot. So who's opening it up?
I'll go.
I feel like I owe everyone a risk right now.
Okay,
I'm fine. I
Yeah.
don't.
so it's up to y'all, whoever opens it up.
I'll do it.
Okay, Magpie, you open up the double doors, and it looks like it just leads into a normal cellar. The doors creak, and they're rusty. They kind of clatter when you drop them. And there's a stairway.
All right. Well,
Once more into the breach.
reasonably sure this isn't going to lead to heaven.
All right, so you take the stairway down, and it leads to hell. No. And I couldn't resist. I'm so sorry. And
Don't be. That was the intent.
you see a door with one of those little slideaways, and it's a low-tech door. Like most doors in this society have some sort of like glitz or something on them to just make them pop a little bit. Even if it's just like a little bit of neon around the edges in the city.
I dig it.
But here it's a conspicuously normal looking door, and the old-fashioned panel slides away. You see this pair of eyes looking back at you, and then the panel slides shut really quick. You hear like 4 locks open up, and then the door opens, and there's a red lit room beyond.
Bev?
Ominous.
You don't
This
see
is
anyone
either the
immediately
coolest
there.
gambling club ever.
This is probably like where the super secret superhero hangout is. I'll go in.
Okay, you go in, and
Wow,
you
this
see
is
that the entire room is lined with like red neon, so that like the red neon lights give it this ambient sort of dark light to it. There are black lights in a few places for accents that
Very
just
cool.
kind of pop. And after all of you enter, the door slams shut. You see this really big dude. He's bald. He's got like a massive beard, that looks pretty immaculately like waxed into a shape with these curls, and he's got his arms crossed, and the beard extends out and locks all the locks again.
Oh, he is a
Like
beardomancer.
tentacles. Yep. He's a beardomancer.
Bev.
And he has a little name tag that says Bevan.
Is everybody here like a
Not
permutation?
No, I'm Bev. This is
Okay.
Bev's speakeasy.
Oh,
This
it
is
is a
the club for
superhero
villains.
secret hangout.
Nah, the heroes go up top. This is for the villains.
Why did I
Oh.
never know that this existed?
You got to know a guy.
You're not cool, nearly as cool as you think
what-
you are.
What you
Suddenly
got
took
one
you
of
off.
these, right? And he flicks out one of the cards.
No.
I actually have 3 of
Oh.
those. I'm like, oh yeah, I have all our cards right here.
Okay, well I had one, but I took
You
it
gave
off.
it to me.
I
Picked a
stole
pocket,
it.
that person's pocket.
I'm so bad. I stole my invitation from a
You
guy's
gave
wallet.
it to me. You gave it to me like in session 2 to take a
Yes.
look at. I got 2 other ones along the way.
He's collecting
because I
Pokemon.
stole them like a
You got 'em all.
pickpocket.
Got to collect them all.
Maybe they haven't been sending them to you because of all that heroing you've been doing.
Hey,
That sounds
listen,
right.
the world is going to end, and I have to live here too.
I don't believe Magpie started all the heroine until after we all started doing our thing. So I think if there was evil cards going around, Magpie should have got them.
Thank you.
I mean, we all should have. We've been really good about being aspiring supervillains. We've been destroying public property, damaging public transport, what do you call it? Like causing property damage, private property. I don't know if you heard about that explosion at Gross World. That was totally us.
My personal public liability costs could feed a small country.
We've been operating as the guise of superheroes so that we can infiltrate their society.
You know what?
I
never
assume that's
mind.
why you invited us here, right, Evan?
No, and the fact that you think that that's what qualifies you to be a villain is exactly why you're a hero.
I just look like I am dying of embarrassment.
Magpie no
you
longer
know
wants to
what?
be a villain or a hero.
So,
You don't
Mr.
have your
Bear,
mask back yet, do you?
Oh no, Kiefer gave it back.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. So
But aren't we
he,
all supposed to be a team now anyway? Like,
So, what is it that we can help you with?
hold on a second. Stay right here. And he goes into a back room, and you hear this like shuffling and whatnot. And then he walks out of the room. The beard is now like wrapped around this chair that's just kind of shuffling and creaking against the floor. As you do see that detective, if you remember, Tracy Columbus, is currently tied and gagged to the chair. He pulls it out to the common room. He goes to the window and he pulls the blinds. And when he does, the moon shines through and Tracy transforms from his normal visage to what you would all think is a werewolf.
Who?
The detective.
I thought he didn't
Oh,
have any
yeah, I
powers.
totally
Significant
forgot
other
about
of
yeah,
Burnout.
Tracy something.
Tracy Columbus was the
Yeah,
significant
yeah.
other of Burnout. And
hissed at him.
Bev
I totally
Bev
forgot about him.
nods
he got
to
kidnapped.
nods to him and says, "One of the Kavarans, been among us the whole time."
Oh,
You're
Oh.
Kavaran? You're probably the one that hurt Bombshell. Because we left him there. Remember, it wasn't at that time when we went on that wild goose chase and came back around and the place had been all
But Hot Dog likes you.
Hydra had said that he had injured Bombshell.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's
You're right.
okay. All right.
So, are you a traitor betraying us or a traitor betraying them?
Well, that's what we don't know. And of course Hot Dog likes him. He's half dog.
I'm gonna remove the gag.
That doesn't make sense. Just because two things are from the same species doesn't mean they all like each other. It doesn't mean we're all friends just because we come from the same species.
Maybe they sniffed
That's
each other's
sexist.
butts, and it was like they were all simpatico after.
And
that.
Hot Dog
One
is
that
a
decided that
wonderful
we were
judge of
friends because we're
character.
birds.
He's just like, Elaine logic and Katie logic are very different things.
That's very true.
So you pull the gag away,
Yeah.
spits it out, and this wolf man is looking at all of you. What?
Well, you have the
I
floor.
guess. Yeah. He's asking us, like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, this
I mean, like, what is, we got about 6 days before the world ends. I guess all your people are coming here to kill us all. We're trying to do something about that. So you can either help or get out of the way, Tracy.
Hey, let's see something. Those canisters, is there a way to just crack one a little bit?
You can absolutely use one of the canisters.
I'm gonna test it on him.
Okay, so
So
you
I'm
just
gonna
kinda
right up to his nose with it, give him a little spritz, and turn it off.
Okay.
I
When
feel
you
like
do,
this is villain behavior and appropriate in the
Okay,
current
and like
location.
ironically, Magpie is the one that has a problem with it.
It's just
So
a
you do
scientific experiment, and we'll kill him.
and when you do, he starts coughing violently, even from just a little spritz. You see the blood start pouring, and he shifts into a humanoid form.
Hey, he is tied to a chair. What are you doing?
Well, we
Hey,
didn't
do you
know
know
if it
if
was
this
gonna
stuff
be
works?
effective against them or not.
So we do this without any warning to a guy that's like not only unarmed but tied to a chair and hasn't consented. No, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes you need to do animal testing, even if it's distasteful. And
Hey!
also, he lied to us. He lied to us. He didn't even tell us that he was working for aliens.
Oh,
All right.
okay. I mean, like, what would we have done if he had said something?
To be fair,
Probably took him at his word and got betrayed by him easily.
Okay, but we don't even know if he would have. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
We're
at
new
this
to
point
this
we're all
stuff.
friendly neutrals.
Katie looks at Tracy and is like, did you even love him? Was it real?
And he starts cackling from the gas, like almost immediately.
See?
So weird. He's super susceptible to the gas.
Okay.
That
Like,
does
that's-
not
you-
talk
that
about
happened
his
to you
love
guys, too.
relationship.
So he can't really answer right now because he's just convulsing and cackling.
am I able to do what I did before and try to like stir the winds and give him fresh air?
Absolutely.
Don't
I would
worry,
like
you only
to
got to
take
make a
the
couple
canister.
of difficulty 9 might chugs to be all right.
I'm
And-
gonna take the canister and just be like, look, I don't think you should hold on to this anymore.
We had to know if it was going to be
Homelander.
effective. Like, the planet is going to end. Our civilization and species are going to be annihilated in 6 days.
Like, out of character, I may have missed it. We're in a speakeasy of supervillains, and Tracy is a captive of them. Was
Yes.
that- okay, I just want to make sure I was understanding. Okay, yeah.
Well,
But
Because
also-
the villains are kind of working with us. At
Yeah,
this
the
moment
villains
in
are
time.
kind of working with everyone because right now the planet.
Oh,
is in
that's
danger,
also
and
they.
there will be no
Oh,
planet
yeah.
Hybrid
to come
nabbed-
back to.
That was
Hybrid
like over
nabbed
my head.
Tracy. As far as we know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Oh, that's right, because he was getting all the villains to work. Yeah. Sorry, that just went over.
I mean, we'll work with anybody. We're like down with Tracy, and then Hybrid kidnaps him and is like, hey, actually, I'm the good guy. And we're like, okay. So,
I look over at Magpie and say, "Hey, everybody can turn a new leaf."
we're not really firm in our commitments at all.
Like I said,
Talking
we're all
about
building
global
neutrals
defense, man.
now.
So Kiefer's powers do actually, in fact, seem to counteract pretty well too. He seems just as susceptible to your wind clearing him out.
See, he's okay.
All right.
And the experiment was a big success.
So let's try and get the story straight. Are you with your people looking to come annihilate ours?
I confess, I I was sent here the first time. I was supposed to meet the heroes, meet the protectors, figure out what was going on, and try to deal with them. And I got too close. And you guys are the first people to actually ask me about this, so I respect. But nobody would listen. Especially not this one. And he glares at Bev.
Okay, so
I got too close.
Supervillains are a cowardly and suspicious lot.
And
all right, so you have to understand here, sir, we are very divided of the issue, and time is kind of important. Are you on our side, or are you on your people's side?
so originally when the time came to make a decision, I made the wrong decision because loyalty, duty, whatever you want to call it. And I thought that they would, that we'd be together forever.
That they'd spare
Burnout
him.
and I. And we could have been, we should have been, but that's why I came back. Why I've been trying to figure this out, because I know who's coming, and it's not who you think.
Okay.
They didn't kill the A-listers. They converted the A-listers.
Oh no.
Hold on. Are you telling me that is a vamp wolf?
Yes.
I sit down.
And
But we got the gas now. If we're able to replicate and affect them, maybe
It
it'll
only makes them stronger.
maybe it'll neutral. Maybe it'll wait. Like your people, like hybrid is one of them, right? Or like don't they have those same power set?
Hybrid's people and my people have been at war for centuries. Both of our people reproduced by converting other races. In Hybrid's case, enough times being willingly merged together and they sort of spit out another one. They divide. For our case, we have to turn others into us.
I look very uncomfortable with this information.
So all
I thought
the
they were just going to
A-listers
take
are
Burnout.
now.
I thought he was just going to become like me and we were going to be together and it was going to be great. But then the Alpha had other plans and told us that the heroes and villains, the protectors of the planet, were going to siege the planet, and we were cut off from each other. And I came here ahead to try to stop something, but Hybrid only listened to half of the story before they painted me as a villain, and so I had to do what I had to do, and nobody's listened until now. You.
So, is there a reason why you couldn't just give us more information the first time you tried to go all shady contact?
Yeah, this guy's been through a lot. I imagine
know
he
if I could
probably
trust
wasn't
you.
sure he could trust anybody.
As we flip back to another side. Just like
You-
that.
You were already with Hybrid. You were part of his budding army. I didn't know
What?
what he brainwashed you with.
In all fairness, we didn't know it was hybrid.
Yeah. If we were able to neutralize the Kavaran, they didn't merge, or they just brainwashed them, right? They didn't like merge with the heroes. They just Or mind
no.
control?
So the Kavarans turned the A-listers into Kavarans.
I'm sorry. You're right. I keep
They're space
conflating the
werewolves.
two. I keep conflating the two.
Yeah.
aliens
So we're
in my-
facing superhero werewolves.
Yes.
But if we
Gonna
neutralize their powers,
We're gonna need a bigger tank.
I don't. What is the reason for coming back here? If part of their force is our former heroes, then what is the design in destroying our world?
I don't think they're going to destroy it. I think they're just going to convert all of humanity into them.
Exactly.
Well, I've got personal reasons not to like the sound of that and not to want to let that happen. It is not at all heroics.
I also have personal reasons. I'm very much a cat person, not a dog person.
I
want the world to end.
Don't let Hot Dog hear you say that.
I just don't understand how we can stop something like that.
How much do you know about this laughing gas, Magpie?
I mean, I know that it makes people laugh really hard. It neutralizes their powers. It makes that more powerful after the neutralizing effect takes place. Like, you know, the standard stuff. Probably about as much as you do.
So we can neutralize everyone but that.
What if we could reverse engineer this gas and make it give people powers? I mean, you all got your powers from unlocking some sort of mutation, right?
That's how you end up with me.
If we could, well, who knows how it might affect. Is this how you were changed?
Yes.
I believe it was almost how you were changed as well.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how this
that's
works.
what those tubes are for.
All right.
But wasn't there some kind of maybe hybrid mention? Like, weren't they able to bestow powers on people or something? I just have a vague.
That was one of the people that.
That was a hero.
That was Bruce Walters, one of the two that made up Walter Mathis.
He can do that, or he said that?
That's his superpower.
What if we were able to amplify his power? I mean, even temporarily, if like everybody in Castopolis or however many we could affect had powers, that might, I'm sure
You
people
have
would be
amazing
willing
faith
to.
in people.
Well, yeah, that's why I do what we do.
All right.
I'm a big fan of humanity.
Are the A-listers gone forever? Like, are they so brainwashed that they will do this? Like,
no.
Would your partner kill you, like, if he saw you, rather than if you're fighting with us?
What was that guy's name? He was a speedster, right? I forget the...
Burnout,
yeah.
I don't know. That's why I came here. I want him back.
What about this thought? Because when possible, it is, always good to be prepared for the worst. I don't know how much of the individual's personalities are survived or remain within these Kavarans. But if that has all the powers of his ridiculous, scary vampire clownness and is now a Kavaran, can the Kavarans be turned into that? If he's under their command, could they then get even stronger?
I don't know. Tracy, you said something about an alpha. What does that mean?
The Alpha is the leader of our people.
So, like the master vampire.
Yeah. But Kavarans don't control the mind. At least not physically like you're that. I know that they had that locked away somewhere because they had a hard time controlling them. But I also know that
you know that
the Kavarans brainwash you. It's so much worse than just a mind control power. It doesn't just turn off.
It's like indoctrination.
But is there a way to undo it?
Of course there is. We just have to figure out what it is, Winda. Save the world.
That's why I'm asking this Kavaran.
Only in so much as you can undo trauma.
That is not a thing. I mean, you can work on it, but there's no all the way healed.
exactly?
Well, all we have to do is find a way to break through that barrier. Enough for them to have a semblance of self. Even if it's a minor aspect, they could stop and think. And when the choice is actually given to them, we just might have a shot.
So how do your wolf powers work? Like, do you need a full moon, or can you always be a wolf person?
Whenever the place that we're at has a gravity that matches the gravity of our home planet, we turn into our more powerful forms. This is a sort of depowered form. It's the way our bodies react to gravities that aren't like our own planets. When your moon is out, it affects the gravity of the planet.
Oh, very cool. That's out of character.
So if we knock the heroes out of their werewolf forms, will that affect their minds at all, or will the brainwashing still be there?
I don't think the heroes are werewolves. They're just
No, they were
indoctrinated, right?
No, they
Like they
converted
haven't
them.
been changed. Or am I mistaken?
They still have their will. They're choosing to do this for the
But I mean, they're still like their own selves, right? They don't
Yes,
turn
they are.
into dog
Yep.
people. Okay.
They are their own
Because it
selves.
sounded like, yeah, okay. So that's,
Sorry, are they superhero dog people now, or are
no,
they
they're
just
not dog people at all. They're just
indoctrinated superheroes?
Yes.
They are indoctrinated were superheroes.
Yes.
They
So-
have been turned into
Oh.
Kavarans.
Oh,
So what I'm
they are.
hearing
Okay,
is-
sorry.
What I'm hearing is if we take the fight to them on their spaceship, the gravity isn't going to be the same as the Earth during the full moon.
No, but it will be adjusted to allow them to be in these forms.
Ah, but if we knock the gravity adjustments off,
Then you would depower all of them.
hey Nightlight, you're good at technology stuff, right?
Well,
I like to think so.
you would depower.
What do you got in
the
mind? What do you
Kavaran.
got cooking up, Bagpipe?
Well, I was just thinking that if they've adjusted the gravity on their ships to make it so that they can be more powerful, they have to be using some kind of technology to do that. So if we could figure out how they're doing it and, knock it off.
I love it. So we infiltrate the alien invasion spaceship, find their gravity controls, and muck it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's
Because we
the
go to
thing.
space? God, just last week I was protecting a strip mall. I knew following you guys to that office was gonna pan out.
If you knock out their Kavaran abilities, that's only half the battle. They still have their superpowers.
Yeah, but that's a battle we know how to fight.
And the Alpha sent them without the rest of our forces. Because I hope you know that this is just a first wave.
I'm still not giving up on the amplifying Bruce's powers either. I think there's some validity there.
So we need to get them emotionally back so that they can help us fight, because that's the only way we're going to stop it all anyway.
I mean, they're heroes. Indoctrination's powerful, but I mean, they put their lives on the line countless times for Castopolis and others. Maybe if we show them that these Kavarans at least have, have some weakness, we might get through to them.
Well, since these aliens have brainwashed our people, there's only one thing to do. We're going to have to make their brains dirty again.
Do you hear yourself?
What do you mean? I practice in front of the mirror sometimes.
Never mind.
Wait a minute, you don't practice in front of the mirror? Oh, wait a minute, vampire, sorry.
We could also try to dilute this gas if we're just talking about the heroes, maybe just enough to neutralize their powers without changing them into whatever it is that did to you, Magpie.
I mean, it's got to be a specific blend that actually changes people. Mostly the laughing gas is just a neutralizing agent.
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that Nerdlit here was inhaling, that would have killed her.
Oh, those are two different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's even better. So the stuff we got just neutralizes power.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. We got a whole crate?
Well, it doesn't just neutralize. If you take too much in, it'll kill you.
Okay. They're superheroes. They're the A-listers. I could take it. I mean, we just lived through it.
That's true.
Magpie,
I saw blowhards inhale a room full of that stuff.
Magpie
just like
pauses
2
for a
hours ago.
moment
Don't
and
recommend.
considers trying to disagree with this, and then remembers that they're actually a villain. So, no, this is fine. You can think that.
So, I
Sometimes
guess
we'll put a pin in it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Bev, did you just bring us here to show us Tracy?
Yeah. So we.
What are you and all the other
you
villains
could
planning on doing?
do something with this or whatever, because honestly, Walter said that all of you were going to be fighting this wave. We figured you would, I don't know, torture him or something, figure out how to get stuff out of him, but clearly you got the information for free.
Well, we
That's
asked.
how you do it, Bev.
Well, I'm a villain. I don't ask for anything.
Is that why I didn't get invited down here? Because
Yeah,
I have
and
a
it-
brain in my head.
Next week, if we're all alive and I see you in a dark alley, it'll be a totally different situation, Bev. But for right now, I think we're going to have to be allies. I'll hold my hand out.
And the beard just kind of shakes your hand.
Nice.
I didn't want to be in your club anyway.
Right.
What is this supervillain familiar to us? Do we know their supervillain name?
Bev? No, you don't know. That he's not familiar to you.
Mastermind.
Are you a new supervillain? I don't think I've seen you before.
I've been around since the A-listers, but I never cared to get in the game. I just made this business. I realized heroes, villains, doesn't really matter. Everybody needs a place to come and grab a bite and chill out, and this seemed a good way to do it.
So
You're
does Bev
not-
know you're down here?
You're not really a villain then. You're just an entrepreneur. You're just a business owner.
What are you
With a-
talking about?
with a
I
weird
serve
beard.
dead raccoon from the back alley. I break every health code violation.
That
I have a lot of
is
disregard
Quite,
for the
that
law.
is totally
No,
villainous.
if that is all it takes to qualify as a villain, then surely me stealing half the town blind. I sit back
Right?
down
Why
again.
didn't you get one of these, by the way? If you're so bad, why didn't you get one?
I don't know. You tell me.
You did get one, though, didn't you?
Mm,
I stole it.
Oh.
She didn't
Even-
get one because
even
they
if it's-
always knew she was going to steal one. So they just made sure that one crossed her path.
You know what? I'll take that. Thanks.
Didn't they give one to the disgruntled weatherman that they gave powers?
Yes.
Or maybe give one to you?
No.
You must
Did
be a hero.
Paperboy get one?
No. I am not a hero.
That. Just keep telling yourself that, Magpie.
I'm a filthy neutral. I don't want to be in either of your clubs. You're all lame.
So I guess I'll start untying
Oh,
Tracy.
yeah.
Okay. So you free Tracy. And he looks at all of you and he's like, so there's one more thing I don't know. I wanted to I didn't want to say it, but I have to. You don't
Before
have
you
a
do your one more thing, do you have a spaceship?
I do,
That could be really
Oh,
useful.
yes.
but it's broke down.
Son of a Nightlight can fix anything.
No
Hopefully.
problem. That's my
They're coming
superpower.
tomorrow night.
What? Wait a minute. Did you say they're coming tomorrow night?
Excuse me?
That's what I was trying to tell everybody.
Okay, that moves things up a little bit.
I thought we had 6 days.
Yeah, that's what all of us thought. But apparently they've got enough of the A-listers on board, they enhanced the ship.
Okay.
Now, that being said, the main force doesn't have these enhancements, so it'll still take about 20 years for them to come. But
I can
if
live
this
with 20
initial
years.
incursion succeeds, then, well, the Alpha's got what he wants.
So I think we know the plan. We fix step 1. We fix Tracy's spaceship. Step 2. We sneak on board the Kavaran command ship. Step 3. We sabotage your gravity. Step 4. We turn the heroes back into heroes. Step 5. Save the day.
No, step 5 question marks. Step 6 profit.
Yeah. And then maybe we'll come back here for a hard, healthy platter afterwards.
Wait a minute. Who's going to tell this guy, though, that Alpha is not really a thing? And how did that...
Are you questioning someone's culture?
I am.
What?
That was propaganda that started by a scientist that got something wrong. He realized that he got it wrong, tried to fix it, and no one would listen to him. How to get all the way across the galaxy.
What?
Podcasts.
Damn.
I mean, that is the way that wolves behave in prison.
Tracy, and with any luck, you can have dinner with Burnout by the end of the week. Who knows?
I really like that.
I'd like that too.
Are you coming to fight?
We're going to need a pilot for your ship. I mean, I might be able to fix it, but I don't know how to fly an alien spaceship.
I can fly your ship.
Oh, how does your alien gravity thing interact with people that have been changed? Because this would technically be their gravity, not the gravity of your home world. This is very confusing.
I think the homeworld gravity is the same as ours. That's why when they're near, they're
It's
like
very
on their
close.
own planet, they're also powerful, right?
Yeah, it's very close.
Yeah.
But just so you know, I can drive for you, but I don't know. I already fought him once and lost.
The next important question is, do we do it so that it's super gravity, so it's like a slow motion fight, or light gravity, so we bounce around like ping pong balls?
Why not both?
Do you know how many were converted?
As far as I know, all of them.
Okay, but like, suppose it was all of them. Can we get that in like a number?
How many people are we going to be fighting?
Well, I mean, I suppose Leo would probably have a pretty good, remember exactly like how many operating heroes there were, who's missing, and stuff.
And villains.
Okay.
Yeah,
Make an intellect roll to remember.
Sure. Hey, wow! I am trained in that, in remembering.
Yes.
What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is going to be a 5.
What if we
Alright,
give him
so-
a calculator? Will that count as an asset?
Please, I have an eidetic memory. I'm gonna use some edge to submarine things. 3, and that's another natural 20.
Okay. So
Love you, glass die.
they got most of the A-listers from the first time. There is a total of 28.
Okay.
How many people can we fit on your ship, and how many other villains and heroes and B-listers can we take with us?
28
Well-
indoctrinated super beings.
If my intel that I've gathered from spending 2 days here with Bev is anything, Hybrid mentioned that you guys have all the villains that you've faced, plus you, plus a bear and an ox, which I don't know about, some wiener dog with heat powers, and a lady that makes stuff go boom.
More than enough.
I think there's also a bus driver.
A bus driver. I didn't know about that one.
He could be a co-pilot. He's the best driver I've ever ridden with.
Can we rent one of those U-Haul trailers to hook to the spaceship to fit some extra people?
I still think these are pretty long odds.
Well, unfortunately, they're the
Wait.
only ones we have. Unless you have another planet you would like to go live on. And a way to get there.
I in fact do not. And I'm
Winda,
not-
if I've learned anything from following the example of you and Blowhard is that I'd never worry about the odds.
The other question is, do we take the laughing gas with us as a last resort?
Hell yeah. I mean, heck yeah. Sorry, excuse me.
As in say goodbye. We're all going down together.
I figure we spend some time figuring out what our plan is, who we're up against, what we can use amongst our allies.
Yeah, Winda, your scientific knowledge is bar none. I mean, you could take a look at that gas. I'll work on the ship.
I can see what I might be able to come up with. I've got a trick or two up my sleeve.
I think these odds are just fine.
Steven?
Hmm?
Magpie is not going to mention this, but I would like to point it out as an aside. I think I want to go and start trolling hospitals for the dying and see if they would like to live.
Okay.
Ooh, you're going to turn them into...
Time to fight.
You're going to make your own progeny?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if they're dying anyway, they got
totally,
they weren't
man.
going to see the
Yeah.
sunrise.
Sure.
Okay. Make a speed roll. Your difficulty is going to go in tiers. We'll say start at a 4 and go up to a 7. And for every tier you make, you get you more and more efficient, basically.
30.
Oh!
Holy moly.
So,
I rolled an 18.
That is how many people you can get.
Oh. I've been busy.
Uh-huh.
Magpie comes back with an army. Okay. Alang during that time will gather all of the raccoons possible and carrion and feed them all, give them all to crocodiles to try and get as many ciphers and things out of his treasure trove to be able to hand out through the party.
Okay. So, Crocodiles currently has one thing for each of you that he thinks will be especially useful this time, and is literally just stuffing his face with the raccoons, crunching and chomping as he dives to the bottom of this pool. We are going to we'll start with... Okay, we're actually starting with Elang. That is fitting. So, Elang, you are first given this, it looks almost like weighted, those weights that you put on your wrists and your ankles and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
It looks kind of like that, but you recognize that these are a special cybernetic augmentation that is a feature that people use to work out super more effectively. It makes you better at working out, but it can also temporarily augment your physical abilities. So it can give you an edge on all might checks for up to an hour.
Oh, that is awesome.
Going to need it.
Then he hands you something for, of course, Magpie. They are special lenses that can see through things. They're like X-ray goggles, functionally.
Yeah.
Then they give you a manual. It's like a book, but it's been put in this watertight casing so that it doesn't get ruined. And it says,
I can just imagining him
for dummies.
I'm just imagining him trying to seal the Ziploc bag with his tongue.
I don't have joints in my fingers.
And it is entitled Alien Spaceships for Dummies.
All right.
It's an easy way to learn alien coding languages and different things like that. It's for Nightlight.
That's amazing that brand still is bringing out so many different books for dummies.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. The next is going to be for Blowhard. It's a weird little capsule. And Crocodiles explains that this particular capsule was designed for heroes and villains with breath-based powers. It can allow them to add an elemental effect. And there's like, inside the capsule, you pop it open and there's like individual little capsules. There's a green one, there's a red one, there's a blue one, and they just go all through the color spectrum. And they're labeled as like fire, ice, acid, lightning, all the weird stuff.
That is super cool.
Functionally giving that person dragon's breath.
Yeah, man.
And then the last cipher is for Kiefer, and
Big
it
old
looks
blunt.
like, huh?
So it's a big old blunt.
It actually it's a bag of crushed up powder, and it's green, and it comes with like a rolling set and everything, and he explains that this is the newest version of Shift on the market. It doesn't cause the crash.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
But it is highly addictive.
I was just gonna say the only thing keeping him from getting addicted is gone.
Yeah, I imagine, yeah, like as he's explaining, it's like, what does this do? Oh. She used it.
No.
Do I need that for later?
So that increases pools, but doesn't doesn't have the hit to 10 intellect.
Correct. So,
Now, how about those odds, Magpie and
yeah.
Blowhard?
So those
Pretty
are your
good.
ciphers that you guys get, and you hear as you finish up getting all this stuff along, you hear a knock, or rather a ring at the bell, like a buzzer, and you answer the door, and you see Leo's mom
I
is
knew it.
there.
I was going to call her.
She has just all the food, and you also see your parents are there, and functionally all of you who have a loved one that would be able to be contacted. And you have Hybrid comes over and it's like, forgive me, but I figured with the fate of the world being at stake, if you didn't return, your loved ones would want to know.
Oh,
And-
thank you so much, Hybrid.
Leo, your mom is just like, my baby, and comes over and gives you a big hug.
So I imagine I still have my
Starts-
super suit on, but maybe he doesn't have his mask on.
Oh yes, and she just starts like calling you every Yiddish term of endearment.
I know I lied to you and everything, but I mean, I promise I will be home. I will be home for dinner every Saturday from here on out. But right now, I really got to fix an alien spaceship so we can go intercept an invading command ship, save all the former A-listers and the Earth, and that's just what I've been doing.
A giant bird hand just comes over and picks up one of the pinwheels and stuffs it in her mouth.
And when you do, you recover all of your hit points and pools and recovery rolls. Because she has given you guys a functional feast that will restore all of your pools, give you invigoration and ready to tackle what's next. Katie, your parents are looking rather somberly at you, and your mother comes over to you and she's like, we are very proud of you.
Oh.
And your siblings are back there and they're all just kind of like nodding or giving thumbs up or different things.
I envision there's like a bunch of my students there. And they're
Oh,
like,
yes.
They're like, why are we here? And then Blowhard just removes his domino mask.
And they're like, and there's just like this big gasp from like the crowd of children and a couple old people.
It's Johnny. That's Sensei Silver.
And the Saturday morning women's defense class.
Yeah.
Keith, does Kiefer have anyone here?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, he's got Magpie. Everyone
Yeah,
else he
high
cares
school.
about is already here too.
They're high school
I mean,
buddies.
he had a boss until his head was cut off.
Wasn't cut off, just the throat.
Just almost cut off.
Yeah.
He had a coworker that he replaced.
In fact, Weatherman is here. Weatherman is here, and he kind of walks up to you, and he's like, "Look, just because we're on the same team doesn't mean I like you or anything."
Well, my sentiments exactly.
And all of you guys can eat the meal prepared by Leo's mom,
Oh.
and you can recover all of your pools, and you get all of your recovery rolls back.
All right.
Woohoo.
As you then see in the distance, you can already start to make out the ships that are descending your way.
Oh,
Okay,
I guess
man.
we're not gonna have to meet them in space.
I gotta go meet this. We gotta go save the universe.
And yeah, that's where we're gonna leave it.
Well, thank you
Oh,
for running,
man.
Steven, and thank you for everyone for playing and those who watched as well. And until next time,
Stay
nerdy.
nerdy.
Nerdy.